Jack Frost is an absurd slasher holiday horror movie where the FBI agents are jerks and the small town of Snowminton's only hope is a sheriff who consistently hits his head on his kitchen light fixtures. Watch the low-hanging lighting as you run for your life on this episode of Cinema Autopsy. I'm your movie mortician Kayla, and welcome to my channel and yet another episode of Cinema Autopsy. In this series we watch fictional horror content and observe it like a mad scientist. We figure out what made us love it, hate it, or made us want to get our own careless driver with a truck full of DNA altering acid. This is the first episode of Cinema Autopsy miniseries, 12 Days of Christmas Carnage. From now up until Christmas, we're going to peek at holiday-themed movies. Today, we start off day one with Jack Frost. This movie is a 90-minute absurd horror directed by Michael Cooney, and it was released in 1997. It is now on Amazon Prime Video. This movie is not to be confused with the other movie of the same name with Michael Keaton. That's a family movie. This one's not.
Uncle Henry? Tell me a story.
No, it's late. Go to bed. Santa will be here soon.
No, I want a story. Please.
All right. You want a happy story? Or do you want a scary story?
I want a happy, scary story.
The little girl's voice was so annoying. And what the heck is a happy, scary story? Horror is a genre that scares through exploiting primitive fears. Horror comedy takes those exploitations and makes it absurd or ironic. So scary is attached to horror, but happy? Happy's a foreign concept to me. The opening credits were 3 minutes long and full of exposition. I did not see a single human face for 3 minutes, but I did have to endure the torture of that awful voice acting. All it really did was tell me that Uncle Henry shouldn't be left alone with kids. I wish I could have seen some characters during the dialogue. I know what Christmas ornaments look like. The movie actually starts with corrections officers driving Jack Frost to his execution, which is in 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure you don't transport the prisoner across county lines the day of his execution. For sure not cutting it so close anyway. Regardless, they drive into the town of Snowminton.
Real bad.
Wait, was that duct tape with written numbers on his shirt? They couldn't splurge for like an actual embroidered shirt? In the grand scheme of the budget for this movie, getting a shirt and having the numbers either embroidered or ironed on would be small tuppence.
Oh, yeah.
Jack broke the fourth wall in this scene, which is the only time it happens in the whole movie, so it's a little different. And the accident scene gave me motion sickness. It was as if I was put in a front-facing washing machine. The other car involved in the crash is a genetic research truck with some sort of acidic solution in it. This movie is like legit giving me whiplash. Jack got drenched in the acid and then melted into the snow. But wait, there's more. We get a cartoon depiction of his blood cells merging with the snow. I know this was created in 1997, but it was still kind of bad as far as special effects go. I will say though that the blood merging with the snow scene was necessary to let the audience know why all of a sudden there's a killer snowman on the loose. What does he have in his dash? A spotlight? His wife, I guess, is shrouded in darkness. But he's over there catching a suntan. He's over here doing TikTok transitions in 1997.
Oh! Touch my finger, touch my knee. Thank the Lord it was not.
Is that a thing? I'm not religious, so I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I've never heard of that little nursery rhyme thing ever in my life. Oh, but anyway, the guy catching a tan was the sheriff who caught Jack Frost all those years ago. And I use that term loosely. He got literally 2 splashes of coffee in that mug, and she puts like a whole tablespoon of sugar in it. I was in theater, so I know how hard it is to hit your marks and be pouring actual liquid. But this isn't a play, so maybe block this scene where he had enough time to pour the coffee, or have the wife have already poured the coffee and then give it to him so then he can put sugar in it. What exactly is that flammable looking mixture next to the stove? I noticed this the first time I saw the movie, and then now I know the ending. We were actually supposed to be paying attention to that container. I'll explain why later. Now he has a nearly full mug of coffee compared to the nearly empty one he was slinging around 20 seconds ago. Yeah, bro, you hit your head on the ceiling light fixture. The camera always seems really close when people are talking. It was like this with Sam, the sheriff, when he was in the kitchen with his family as well. This kid has only been in 3 scenes so far, and 2 of them he's wasting so much food. And since the mom, Anne, just drove up the driveway and the dad is out policing, did she leave this kid home alone? Especially when he has a penchant for...
Sled runs not for brains.
But this is my dad's front lawn.
Look, are you gonna move or am I gonna have to kick your stomach out the top of your head again?
Is this 20-year-old bullying a 10-year-old on his own front lawn? He totally deserved getting his head chopped off by a sled. I think he's actually supposed to be a teenager to bully, but he looks kind of old to be a teenager, or at least a teenager who thinks it's okay to bully a child. This scene is chock full of damn fine police work. Insert sarcasm here. First, the kid is still on scene. Second, someone dumped a cup's worth of snow on a gallon's worth of blood. Then, as 2 cops are carrying the body away, another cop has Billy's head in a clear plastic bag, carrying it to the van for all and sundry to see. The town, well, at the very least, Billy's parents and sister think that Ryan pushed Billy. Ryan, of course, said the snowman did it, which is the truth. However, nobody is questioning the fact that a sled, which only had several feet to pick up speed, was able to fully decapitate Billy and sent his head several feet away. Honestly, an abominable snowman is more believable to me. Better yet, explain to me why a teenager is allowed to bully a 10-year-old, Snowminton. You're clearly so ready to blame Ryan. Question why Billy was on the Tyler property. Did he just hit his damn head again? Bro, don't you live in that house? Shouldn't you know where the light hangs down from the ceiling? Move that table under the lights, or get lights that don't hang down so much. This movie has a Chucky Child's Play vibe. Jack Frost is taunting his victims, and then he says corny death puns after he kills them. I love the dynamic between the sheriff and his 2 deputies, though. And of course, the FBI agent in this movie is a jerk. The FBI movies, at least in the late 80s and 90s, always were bad or jerks. Unless the movie was actually about the FBI. Why is she acting like the water puddle is lava? It's just water, just step in it. You're going to have to fix that sink. Also, why do I not see a drop of water on the floor? This scene is ridiculous. When I lived in Ohio, I never wore that many layers. Even when I had to walk in a blizzard to go get groceries. T-shirt, hoodie, snow jacket, jeans, boots, and a beanie. That's it. If it was windy as well, I'd wear like a thin scarf. Anyway, this is Billy's sister, Jill, and Tommy. They broke into the sheriff's house to do the hanky-panky, but Jill tells Tommy that she's not putting out until he starts a fire and opens a bottle of wine. To which he proceeds to open a bottle of champagne instead. This audio doesn't match with the close-up shot. I don't know why they just didn't use the audio they probably got with the close-up shot. If this audio was corrupted, then I would have just left out the close-up shot. I have a question. When Jack Frost fused with the snow, he gained the power to melt and refreeze himself. So does that mean he technically is part of all ice, water, and snow? Or just that puddle his body melted into? If it's all ice, water, and snow, wouldn't he be able to kill people by freezing the percentage of water that makes up human bodies? Or is he just that if he's just that puddle, wouldn't he aerosolize bits of himself when he melts himself? So he could then float through the air and injure people that way? I need some answers. They're the ones that brought science into the plot. I'm just trying to figure out which laws they're following and which ones they aren't. Jill is stuck in Jack Frost. That's, I mean, the snowman. And he's smashing her against the wall. This isn't getting any better. Jack Frost is killing Jill. And then we see one of her arms is stuck, so we are led to assume that both arms are stuck. But then we get this pointless shot of a guy walking by, seeing the shadow of her arm flailing. Why? What's the point? I guess maybe to be funny or ironic? The secretary is hilarious. I love it. I'm here for Marla and her sass. Jack Frost finally finds Sam at the station to enact the revenge he swore against him. They find out that heat hurts Jack, but he can only be hurt in his frozen state. Which begs the question, if they melt him, won't he just be able to refreeze himself? But they don't think about that as they run to the storeroom, open the utility closet, and get a whole town's worth of bug spray. What possible reason would a station need that many cans of bug spray for? If you need that many full cans, you need to call an exterminator. No, it isn't. Neither is this. I'm sorry, Sheriff. Were you just gonna blow up the station with a civilian locked in a cell? Did you forget you have someone booked? During Dr. Stone's monologue about the acidic compound, you can hear the recycled audio from the previous scene.
Jack Frost was an accident. It was meant to be next-level genetic research to ensure the survival of our race.
It's good to recycle bags, cardboard, plastic, especially plastic, but not audio that has such distinct emotions and dialogue in it.
What did you put in the oath?
Antifreeze.
So we find out what the container of flammable looking liquid was. It was a good little Easter egg, except is nobody gonna tell that kid he could have killed someone? Or better yet, why the hell was a kid who obviously doesn't know the harmful effects of antifreeze be able to get his hands on antifreeze? The mom was in the kitchen right next to him when he was mixing up this concoction. What the heck was she doing? Sheriff Sam Tyler is splashing around in a backwoods pool of antifreeze. What is with this movie and glossing over the hazardous effects of antifreeze on the human body? And then he baptizes his own kid in the antifreeze pool. I can't. I can't. This brings up another question. How are they going to get rid of all the antifreeze? Pouring it out can cause some serious environmental hazards in Snowminton. So I found out what they did with it. And cue the setup for the sequel for Jack Frost 2. Now, as much as I dragged this movie through the ringer, I enjoyed it. It didn't have glaringly obvious plot holes or terrible over-the-top acting. However, it also wasn't a B-movie, just an old movie. There is some fun stuff in the credits, including, but not limited to, Worst Joke Told by Sam Hill. Congratulations, Sam. That concludes this episode. Be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that little bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new videos. Why is there water all over the floor? Wait, where'd my snowman go?
Right behind you, sweet cheeks.
First of all, don't call me that. And second, I just watched the movie, so I know how to get rid of you.
So you have a pool of antifreeze?
This is 2021. I've got something better. ShamWow. It'll make you say wow every time.
A towel?
And salt.
You're dead!
You first. Ow! Ow! Are you throwing ice cubes at me?
No.
Ah! It burned!
Maybe the sun will finish you off.